My name is Jerry, and this is something that happened to me about 2 years ago. I'm not someone who usually gets paranoid, and I've never really believed that every bad feeling means danger. But after this night, I stopped ignoring my instincts completely. At the time, I was living alone in a small apartment on the edge of the city. I worked long hours at an office job, and most nights I didn't get home until late. One evening, after staying overtime, I realized I had no food at home. It was already past 9 p.m., but there was a grocery store about 5 minutes away, so I decided to stop there on my way back. The parking lot was mostly empty when I arrived. A few cars were scattered around, and the lights above flickered slightly, making the place feel colder than it probably was. I didn't think much of it. I grabbed a cart and went inside. The store was quiet, almost uncomfortably so. There were maybe 5 or 6 other people in the entire place. The sound of the air conditioning and the hum of the fluorescent lights echoed through the aisles. I remember feeling tired more than anything. I just wanted to grab a few things and leave. I was in the middle of one of the aisles looking at different pasta sauces when I noticed someone standing at the end of the aisle just watching. At first, I assumed he was looking past me at the shelves, but when I moved my cart slightly to the left, his eyes followed me. I told myself I was imagining it. People look at each other all the time. Still, the feeling stuck with me. I grabbed the first jar I saw and moved on. A couple of aisles later, I saw him again. This time, he was closer. He was pretending to look at something on the shelf, but his head was tilted slightly in my direction. As soon as I looked at him, he looked away. He was an average-looking guy, maybe late 20s or early 30s. No visible tattoos, no unusual clothes, just a hoodie, jeans, and sneakers. That almost made it worse. He looked like someone you'd pass on the street without a second thought. I tried to shake it off and continued shopping, but every time I stopped, he appeared nearby. Never right next to me, but close enough that I noticed. The more I tried not to think about it, the more tense I became. At one point, I stopped my cart and pretended to check my phone. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw him stop too. He stood there, holding nothing, just waiting. That's when I started to feel genuinely uncomfortable. I decided to head to the checkout. I figured once I paid and left, that would be the end of it. I got in line, placed my items on the conveyor belt, and tried to focus on the cashier scanning my groceries. That's when I felt someone standing too close behind me. I didn't turn around immediately, but I could sense it. When I finally looked back, it was him. He had only a bottle of water in his hand. He wasn't looking at the magazines or his phone. He was looking directly at me. I gave a small, awkward nod like you do when you accidentally make eye contact with a stranger. He didn't react at all. No nod, no smile, nothing. My heart started beating faster. I paid as quickly as I could, grabbed my bags, and walked toward the exit. I didn't run, but I definitely walked faster than normal. The automatic doors opened, and the cool night air hit me. As I stepped into the parking lot, I glanced at the reflection in the glass doors behind me. He was coming out too. I tightened my grip on the grocery bags and headed straight for my car. I could hear footsteps behind me, slow and steady. Not rushed, not casual either, just enough to let me know he was there. When I reached my car, my hands were shaking so badly I dropped my keys. I bent down to pick them up, and for a split second, I considered turning around. I didn't. I unlocked the car, got inside, and locked the doors immediately. As I looked up, I saw him standing just a few feet away behind my car. He didn't approach. He didn't knock on the window. He just stood there, staring at me through the windshield. We locked eyes for a moment, and I felt this overwhelming sense of danger. Not panic, not fear exactly, just the certainty that I needed to leave right then. I started the engine and pulled out of the parking spot. As I drove away, I checked my rearview mirror. He was still standing there, watching my car disappear down the road. I went straight home and didn't stop anywhere. That night, I barely slept. I kept replaying the whole thing in my head, trying to figure out what he wanted. Nothing ever came of it. I never saw him again. No messages, no break-ins, no explanation. But ever since then, I don't ignore that feeling anymore. If something feels wrong, I leave. Because sometimes the scariest situations don't involve monsters or shadows, just ordinary people who never say a word.